Maisie is very happy. She has a weakness on the right side of her body. She struggles to use her right arm and hand, so she really relies almost totally on her left hand to do everyday tasks. And she also is weaker in her right leg as well, and she has epilepsy.
Maisie is doing 4 weeks of CIMT with us, and during that time we're really focusing on increasing her awareness of that arm. We need to do lots of visual feedback for her, that she's engaging in looking at that hand when it is doing activities. We're looking at improving her shoulder movement so that she's coming forward with it. She's already made progress with this since she's had her stroke, where she used to hold her hand backwards and she was kind of holding it in this position when she came to us. So what we're going to do is work in that forward plane and the outward plane to increase her shoulder strength and movement. Hopefully from there we'll get more functional use of the arm as a whole and the hand as well.
Yeah, we just wanted to give Maisie a good foundation at this age in her life to something to build on, and as she grows older she'll become more aware of that arm and understand why we're doing this work with her. At the moment it's obviously hard to explain that to her, but this really is a good age to get this started, and then as she can play and bring in the hand more, she'll be more aware of it, and then throughout life then she'll be using it more and more as a helping hand, and hopefully even more than that.
I first heard about CIMT through Google internet search, and then I went on the website and saw the case studies of other children and the progress that they made, and it really spurred me on to want to get something like this for Maisie, because I saw that these children couldn't use their arms very much at all, very similar to Maisie, and when I saw that the progress they had made at the end, I thought we need to do this for her. People who have recommended it to me have been other parents who've done it with their children, who I've been able to contact through social media. We've done some mini constraint with her at home, where she would have her arm bandaged up with a little tubey grip, maybe just for half an hour a day in blocks of therapy. It's constraint-induced movement therapy. So the strong arm is casted up in a hard cast, and all of the focus goes to the weaker arm, the neglected side of the body. And the child will have 3 hours of therapy a day for 4 weeks, and it helps the brain to create new pathways of movement, and that can be then brought over into daily life once the cast is taken off, and that the child can make improvements that will be long term.
We decided to do CIMT because it is a good opportunity at Maisie's age to try and improve the movement in her right side, because at her age at the moment her brain is constantly growing, and there's an opportunity for neuroplasticity where open up pathways in her brain to actually get that movement going, and to give her the best opportunity, and as she gets older to use that hand and as a helping hand, or give her the best opportunity as possible.
We're hoping to gain more functional movement in Maisie's right upper limb for everyday use when we go home, so that she can play more easily when she needs two hands, because at the moment if there's a game that needs two hands she just can't get involved, and that's really hard to see. So we just want her to be able to play as normally as possible, like a 2-year-old should be able to. I hope that she'll be able to help herself when she's feeding after CIMT, and also get involved in more two-handed play, where like even with blocks or little games where you need to.
Good job. Now baby, you're going to have to use your helping hand now. Okay baby.
was really worried that she'd get very, very frustrated because she literally doesn't use her right arm for anything apart from to maybe balance and lean on. I was just really worried that she'd be really upset and not be able to participate in therapy at all, and also that we'd find it really difficult to keep her happy on it.
Yeah, the initial concerns for me were the fear of actually seeing her with the cast being put on, or how upset she'd be, or will she use or put attention on the other side. So those concerns for me are allayed now, and now it's focus on the positive of actually seeing her improving throughout the next 4 weeks.
I think we're concerned as well about her going back to being like less independent. She's a very independent little girl, and we're going to have to go back to feeding her and assisting her a lot more than before. But we're happy to be able to do that for improvements to be made.
It's like short term
pain, hopefully long term gain.
Yeah. I don't think it was a difficult decision, because we feel like with Maisie, it's worth at this stage in her life, there's an opportunity there to make improvements, so now is the time to do it. So we just saw it's try everything we can, and this is the top of the list of things to try for making improvements for Maisie.
Also to stop them from using that dominant hand, which you can't make a young child do without the hand being totally taken out of the equation, and also to give the child 24 hours a day opportunity to use the affected side.
Every week we'll be setting goals for Maisie. When we're doing goals, we look at what the next step is for the child. So often within the first week, we look at getting used to the cast and lots of positive reinforcement for the affected upper limb, so that the child develops confidence in that arm. From there, we can look at developing the movement and functional use, and through the positive reinforcement that will be applied then into functional activities. Every week we will review the goals and we'll see what the next steps are for the child. With CIMT, we really want to improve Maisie's awareness of her arm and hand. She currently is so dominant through her left side that she's not accessing the movement that she does have available with her right side. So that's the main focus, is to increase awareness, and from there access the movement that she has. We know that she's got lots of ability to move the arm actively, especially from her shoulder, so we really want to tap into her using it voluntarily.
A lot of positive movements we're seeing already with Maisie, and she's very happy with the progress she's making. You can see that she has more awareness now of that right side. So we're really happy how things are going so far for Maisie, and to see her happy and actually seeing good progress.
And she's really enjoying the sessions as well. You're kind of pitched at her level, and the activities are always interesting and fun for her, and also achievable, which makes it much more fun for her.
Everything is through play. Everything is based around what Maisie is happy with playing with. So if she's getting bored with one game and she moves on to another, she's not being forced to stay with that thing she's bored with. So it's all through play and through whatever she is interested in. And when she's focused on that one particular game or whatever, that we're trying to get the physios are trying to get as much movement as possible with her right side. So it is all through.
It's really varied.
Yeah, it's really varied. Yeah.
Yeah, we've done painting and baking and messy play, sensory play, music, climbing, lots of different activities.
Within the therapy sessions that we provide, we aim to give positive reinforcement for the upper limb. Therefore, that means that the child is seeing that their upper limb is functional, that they have got movement within it, and it's really drawing their attention to that and giving them really good feedback.
I find the process really, really exciting, actually, to see every day the progress that she's making, and we're very involved in the whole process ourselves as well, where it's collaborative, really, I suppose you could say, where all the physios and everyone works together, and it's just a really fun environment to work in, like with everyone, like, so it's very rewarding to see every day.
I think she's enjoying the sessions a lot. She's not frustrated, which is really great to see, because we were so worried beforehand that she would get frustrated with not being able to use that dominant limb, and the fact that she never used her right side, and she would get very frustrated at home when we tried to get her involved in activities. But she's not frustrated, she's happy and she's excited coming in every morning.
I just know Maisie, the physios are getting big hugs every day from Maisie, so she just loves coming in here, and she always gives a little cheer when she comes towards the building, so she's happy here every day.
In the day when she is frustrated, so for example, especially during meal times when she's used to feeding herself, but slowly it is getting less frustrating for her. So overall she's tolerating it pretty well, I'd say.
Maisie loves chocolate and snack time, so we're using that daily to motivate her to use her upper limb to the best of her capabilities. And we're facilitating her movement as well to, for example, you do grasp and release of her hand. We help her with opening her hand, and then she will actively grasp the item because she really wants the item and is really motivated by food, which is often something that happens with 2-year-olds.
We've noticed a lot of changes already since the cast has gone on. There are a lot of strong movements in her right side. She's reaching out for objects and trying to, when she has a choice between 2 objects, she's choosing with her right arm which one she wants to choose. So you can see even at home as well, we're continuing on a lot of the activities, and we're seeing a lot of, even when we're reading a book, she's turning the page, or there's a lot of progress every day, and it's very positive,
Maisie is doing so well with her CIMT programme. She tolerates the cast brilliantly, and every day she comes to therapy really excited to be here and ready to play and use her upper limb.
Wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round all day long. The horn on the bus goes beep, beep, beep. Beep, 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 beep. The horn on the bus goes beep, beep, beep all day long.
Maisie has made some great improvements already in her programme. She is spontaneously using the arm for voluntary movements. She's reaching forward now to get items. At first it was very much like a compensatory strategy that she was using to raise her arm, whereas we are getting a lot more shoulder movement. She's doing really well. Maisie's motivated by lots of things. I would say the main thing is food, and she loves chocolate, which, although not ideal, during sessions we really want to make sure she's getting the most out of her time with us. So we've used chocolate to make chocolate cakes, and we've sat in the chair and used it for grasp and release.
Maisie's achieved a lot in the last few weeks. She's gone from very little active movement in her right arm to reaching out and using that arm a lot now for playing, and it's a lot of encouragement there already to work with. So it's great.
She's developing well with her gross motor skills with her arm, so we just have to start working now and developing a little bit more of the fine motor skills in her hand. We're really happy with how Maisie's getting on, and we're really happy that we came over to do CIMT here. It's tough on Maisie at times, but I think in the long run for her future it will definitely be worth it, and we'll have a good base to work with for the future as well for movement. Maisie's definitely enjoyed the process, although she finds it challenging. The sessions are pitched at her level and they're within her interests, she enjoys the sessions a lot.
Yeah, she really enjoys the sessions. It's like a home from home here. The layout, the whole place is very similar to our house. All similar toys, so she's having a great time here playing with all the toys.
She's physically become much stronger in her arm, and her movements are much faster and stronger, and she's using her arm to do functional things. And psychologically she's very tired, but she's also feeling quite proud of herself, I think, because she's achieving things with her arm that she hasn't been able to do in 18 months.
Maisie's only 2 years old, therefore the plasticity of her brain is really high, and doing a treatment like constraint-induced movement therapy, where we're working on developing awareness of the upper limb through the signals to the brain, will really affect her at this young age.
Our plans are to go back home and to continue with the outpatient therapy that she does at home, and also to continue with constraint therapy by using the removable cast that will be given at the end of the process.
I wasn't fully sure what outcomes we'd have at the start, so I'm really happy to see the progress she's made. She's really made great progress so far, and there's a lot there to build on in the future for Maisie. It's great.
Within Maisie's CIMT programme, we have carried out therapy both inside our therapy treatment room and outside in the environment. We found taking Maisie outside really motivates her. So activities that we've done are collecting the leaves, as we're now in autumn. We've used the water balloons outside.
So we did lots of outdoor activities like collecting leaves in the garden, and today we went to the Ortsol Hall, a really big old house, and we picked some herbs in the garden, and then we went to the mud area, and Maisie had some pots and pans there, and we met the gardener, and it was a lovely sensory experience for Maisie.
One of the activities that Maisie has really enjoyed is visiting a local garden where we have explored the fruits and vegetables in the garden. We've explored the herb garden, so we've really had a good time like touching and feeling and smelling, and really making the session multisensory for Maisie in order to maintain her motivation and ensure maximum engagement in the session. That's been one of her favourite parts, I would say, is what we've done when we visited the garden. So
I think Maisie's really enjoying it, because when we get here in the morning, she lifts her arm up and says yay, so it's obvious to us that she's definitely enjoying it. And when we say, do you want to go and see Ruth and Ben, her therapist, she says yay and nods her head. So she is enjoying the sessions very much. There's lots of more active movement for Maisie's arm, so when she sees a drink or food that she wants, she puts her arm up as if she wants to grasp it. She's not quite ready to grasp yet, but that active movement is there. When she sees a toy, she can push it, she can open a door, she can close a door with her hand. All these things she wasn't able to do before her hand was by her side. So from now until the end, we're mainly working on making Maisie's movements that she's already got faster and a little bit better. So we're just building on what has been the foundations that have been laid in the first couple of weeks, and just making those movements more automatic to her. She also needs to work on her grasp and release, but that's something that's going to have to be worked upon over a long period of time, not a short period of time. So that's something we'll be bringing home with us to work on. I think my favourite thing so far has been the sensory garden experience that we did today. Maisie loves the outdoors, and just seeing her face light up when she was outside, and also seeing her with the therapist's help picking herbs from the garden was just so lovely to see.
Maisie is with us for 3 hours per day out of her 24-hour day, so we really want to ensure that when she leaves a session with us, her family feel confident that they can continue on with activities at home to maximise her progress with us. We've lent the family some toys that they can play with as they've come from Ireland, so it would have been quite tricky for them to bring appropriate things with them, and also we've given them tips and hints about how to maximise the progress, as I've said. So we've really wanted them to do lots of weight bearing through Maisie's hand and arm to really ensure that her hand is open, to get her weight bearing through that hand, opening that hand and engaging her shoulder. as that's a really important position that Maisie needs to work on.
I feel we've definitely made the right decision. We were worried beforehand, would she be frustrated, would she be upset, would it be too emotional for her, would she not participate? But all of our fears were cast aside within the first couple of days, because Maisie engaged with the therapy, she enjoyed it, and she's getting active movement of her arm that she's initiating. So yeah, we are very happy that we went ahead and did CIMT. Yes, it's definitely been worth the time, because you see quite a lot of changes in a short period of time, because it's intensive and because the other arm, the dominant arm, is taken out of the equation, and the Maisie needs to use her other arm in order to feed herself or in order to play. So yeah, it's definitely been worth taking that arm out of the equation. We haven't gotten these kind of results from other therapies we've been doing for 18 months now, and to see these improvements in such a short period of time is really nice and really comforting that the future is bright, hopefully.
Yay!
Oh, that cry
Good
perfect.
job. Oh, you're doing good holding
I
it
think
down.
we would do it again, because Maisie still has a long road to go. Hopefully we can build on what she's gained here, but I think in the future she will need to build on her fine motor skills. That's where she's going to really struggle, and I think in the future it would be really useful for Maisie to work on them fine motor skills by doing another round of CIMT.
Great fun working with the therapist. Have really made everything so much fun for Maisie and ourselves. It really involved us in the whole process, and every day it's been really exciting working with the team. You can really see the difference from the start to the end, where Maisie is really coming on since we've started her. So the whole process has been really enjoyable, and they're a really good team to work with her.
Maisie can now use her right arm quite well for some gross motor activities, where she can knock things over and she can reach up to knock things down from a height, and she can push things with her arm. And she can also, once something is put into her hand, she can reach out for it, but she can't open her hand for the grasp, but she can feed herself then. She can bring food up to her mouth with her arm to eat.
The team that we worked with here, Ben, Ruth and Fatula, have been brilliant. They're really, every day, it's just a joy to come in and work with them, because they really are so enthusiastic about the job to do, and they really are really gifted in what to do to bring Maisie through what we would think would be a very hard process, to make it as fun as possible for her and for us as well. So they are brilliant.
They've both, Ben and Ruth, have been very supportive to us as well as parents in this journey through CIMT. If someone was asking should they do CIMT, I would say yes, it's definitely worth trying it. The more function that your child can gain in their affected limb, the better, especially for their future. So I would say, just if you can raise the funds for it, go for it.
Myself and Maisie's therapists really enjoyed working with her. She is a fun, energetic little bundle. Maisie's done really well over the course of her programme. She's made improvements every week. She came to us and she wasn't using her upper limb for voluntary movements, and she's left us today initiating use of her affected upper limb, even when her unaffected arm is available for her to use.
This one or this one? Which one? Choose this hand. That one. Good job. Good job.
I'm really happy with the progress that Maisie has made over the 4 weeks. She has a huge increase in awareness of her affected arm and hand, and after the cast is removed and we've spent some time doing bimanual, she is really bringing that arm into the activity. a lot more actively than she was before she came to us, which has made me really happy.